The aged horses. These are horses anywhere from 4 now up to 10. We get a few of them. We're going to talk about them. Atlas Hanover. What a calamity that was the other day. Tim got himself in a bit of a pickle going around. He did everything right. Just the way the race shook down was horrid for Atlas Hanover. But coming off a 51 mile, he was 2-5 the other day. That was a tough one. But hopefully he'll bounce back this week. Blue Tesla, I didn't think her qualifier was great, but now that I go back and look at it, look at the line, and then I got to see the scope when the veterinarian scoped her after, and her bifurcation, the skin, that right in between where the left and right lung branch off, there's tissue there. It's called the bifurcation. It should be very thin. Hers was quite enlarged and would absolutely be obstructive. It's a cool word. It fits. And I believe that's exactly what we saw. It was a horse that kind of ran out of air. But mile and 2 minutes, we'll come back. No point in trying to race her off that line. We'll come back with either another qualifier or a schooler with Blue Tesla next week. Knowing full well what went on, we should be able to treat that. Bravura was flat. Well, she's going to qualify next week, but she was flat. Schooling today. I need to see more from this mare now. I have to. Dustin Hanover has looked awesome. I told you guys, just let the horse build his own steam. Let him grow up. Let him mature. Let him figure it out. He's getting there. And he looked amazing in Northfield Park last Wednesday night. Very, very proud of him. How the Hell is on the walker now. Walking, looks sound, walking, and sharp as a tack. So we're going to turn walking into walking and swimming over the next 2 weeks probably, and then swim him for about 3 weeks, and then re-x-ray also. But very, very happy with what I've seen from How the Hell. HP Maestro, this great find for this guy. Beautiful horse, very nice horse to drive. Got picked off the other day, but it has been great. We've raced him 3 times. He got a second, a first, and a second. No complaints there. JK Mickey Mantle has been awesome. Continues to look awesome. He's racing in 3 hours. Race 1 at Mohawk, Woodbine Mohawk Park. Good luck to Harry and the team and all of our partners with JK Mickey Mantle. Kind of classy. She's been in 212 now. I might run her back over to Ohio. I was going to try and race her at Mohawk, but I don't know. Harry said she's okay. Been in 212. I'd like to see a little bit more. She's hot, really hot. So I think she might be a horse, especially now that we're out of the maiden at Northfield Park, and it's a good class. It might be a spot for her to be, or the Meadows. Jacob just wants the filly to race the mare now, to race good. Put some good lines on her. Are we going to breed her? Is he going to breed her? Is he going to sell her? That'll be up to him, but we got to get her to the track first. So first things first, we got to get her there. Do we bring her to Ohio? Potentially. We do have some horses that come back in this week. It's all about stalls, stall management from here on in. And that's why it is so important for Cash Deals and Bravura to do their work well and kind of classy. We'll see. She's done her work well. I haven't sat behind her yet. They said she'd been in 212, I think, or 213 at the farm, but also said she was kind of hot. Shocking to see a Donato Hanover a little hot. That's okay. We'll stretch her out pretty good in the coming weeks. Looks like money. Maybe one of the better horses we bought by the looks of things. Locatelli was so good last year, but I don't even know if Locatelli was as talented looking as Looks Like Money. I don't know. Maybe that's unfair to Locatelli because he's become a nice horse. He equaled the track record at Mohawk, but when we got him and raced him into January, February, I don't remember him being like that. But maybe that's because it's, out of sight, out of mind. But man, Looks Like Money's he's the real deal. He's serious. A serious horse for sure. Matt's MVP, again, I talked about him a little bit this week. A so-so schooler today. He's closer to being sold than he is, I think, finding his way truly to the winner's circle and straight numbers of 2 or even 3 at Mohawk. We'll see how he races this week. I do like him. I've always liked this horse. I have a lot of respect for him. We'll see how he races this week. Procrastinator was awesome today. Getting closer to seeing probably the best Procrastinator we've ever seen. Very, very close to seeing that. He looked really good today. 58, 27 and a piece on the end of it on kind of a miserable, rotten day. And I shouldn't say that. It was a nice day. The track wasn't great. Tacky and sloppy, and it was changing, and it's now -2 when it was -1 with the sun. You can imagine how the track was. So that was a good mile for Procrastinator. Red Overbach will come back in I believe this week. We'll start him back up. Renegade Gypsy will be another 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. We'll have him back in and going. Resolute Bay, I guess we'll race him Monday and then make a decision at that point what we're going to do. Yes, we'll race him in the Ontario Graduate. I'm not a big fan of resting him to bring him back and make money that we could be making now. No, I'm not a fan of that. But we have to do right by the horse too. He can't race all the way. And now that I'm looking at the Graduate and 4-year-old races, here's a little red horse that is going to grow up to be a nicer horse. He has turned out to be a very, very good competitor on the track. Loves his work, loves to beat up on other horses, and is rather good at it. So, again, what's his 4-year-old career look like for us? I'm always left looking over the fence, but understanding that the grass on this side is really good right now also. Stonebridge Ciccotti's just come to life in a big way in Ohio. Very, very impressed with him and Dustin Hanover the other day. Very, very impressed. 3-point blue chip, there's really a holding pattern for this guy. There's not really much we can do. Just wait. I'm waiting for an update from Tom when they're going to start back going with him. I suspect that will be April into May. I suspect we'll see with him. Just a devastating loss to 3-year-old for us, but hopefully he can make up for it as a 4-year-old. Unbeatable Kemp, yes, a little old line was found in his knee. More of an aggravation, as the vet put it, under x-ray. So we'll swim him 3 weeks, keep his endurance up, and I think maybe a training trip and a schooler away from the races again after that. But first and foremost, make sure we get that cleaned up good. World for Two is getting closer. He looked good again training this week. Very happy with him. Good as him as we start into the 5-year-olds. Broke his foot. That's right. Put a line in his foot. He did. Going to be off for a while, but at the same token, I don't care. I just want him to come back as good as he can. I'd love to see him come back 100%. Feet are a little tricky. If we do it right, he shouldn't re-injure, but is he going to lose a little bit over this? I don't know. Either way, he's going to be an effective horse for us. He's been a good horse for us. So yes, we're going to have to wait till the next time Good As Him races, but I will be waiting with bated breath. Eldest Patrick, I continue to say he'll come. Today he did. 1 mile 55 in the mud with him today at Mohawk. I don't know what went on from the rail. I suspect it was the rail. I don't know. And yes, I could drive him on Thursday, and I will if James picks over him. But I am going to list James. I'm not going to forgo somebody who's already won 4 or 5 races with Eldest Patrick, I believe. Somebody who's the leading driver in Canada to say, I'll drive him. Yeah, I can drive him, but I'm going to stay the course with my brother also. I believe in his talent, and I don't think there's anything I can do with Eldest Patrick that he can't do with Eldest Patrick. Locatelli's in at Northfield. Is this a perfect spot for him? No, it's not. Nope. He was supposed to come home to Mohawk. We have a number of options with him, and I do want to talk to Harry further about that. I see the Maple Leaf Trot being August being his first Grand Circuit race, and people may disagree and say, oh, the Cashman. Just cool your jets, okay? Before we start saying he's going to race against the best horses in the world, go easy now. He's a very, very nice horse, but let's not get too far over our skis with Locatelli. I think he's got a lot of talent. I think he's going to do good for us. I think that goes without saying, but let's find the proper place for Locatelli moving forward. I think the Maple Leaf Trot in our backyard is definitely a way to go, and as he moves into that 5-year-old season, he will need a break at some point, but as he moves into that 5-year-old season, you have the Maple Leaf Trot and everything that comes after it leading up to, and if you believe he's good enough, fine. The Breeders' Crown is in Indiana, where a number of those other races will take place for him. That's fine. I just would rather not send him to the heat of the Meadowlands on Hambo Day and race against the best horse in the world. It's open for discussion. And I'm sure there's people that are going to send me a message saying, I don't care, I want to stake him to everything. It's not how it works here. We want to do what's best for the horse. Just because we're eligible to the Cashman doesn't mean we're ever going to show up. And it costs a lot of money to be eligible to those races. The way I saw it, I think, was $4,400, the first leg of staking. This isn't the only one for Locatelli also. Keep in mind, there's still lots of money to race for in the opens. So, that's open for discussion, and we will discuss it. Macho Martini racing tomorrow night at Northfield. I'm interested. I thought Lauren did a great job with him, and I thought he raced rather well at Northfield Park his first start. Very interested to see how he's going to race tomorrow night for me. No Free Lunch has been absolutely insanely good of late. I think he's got a good shot tonight in the Open. I hope he does. Good luck to James and everybody that owns No Free Lunch. Walk on the Moon. I rag on him because I think he could be an open trotter that chooses not to be on a daily basis. And he is. In my mind, he is. But he didn't race bad the other day. He got beat. Yes, I know. I made fun of him. He got beat fair and square, but the horse sits him out 54-3 in the mud, in the pouring rain. I think the horse did pretty good. Where are we at now? Down. Holding the Tone. Got injured the other day. He's off for an undisclosed period of time. It could be a 2, 3, 4 months for him. I just know with his size, soft tissue, we're going to have to do it right and take our time. And yes, nobody's more disappointed than me because I really love this horse, but we're going to have to do right by him or this is just going to continue to plague us. So he's off for a little while now. Sailor, interesting debate going on right now inside our group of Sailor. Do we sell him? Need somebody that wanted to buy Sailor but offered a little less than claiming price. I can make an argument either side. And I know people believe. I don't want to hear about the I believe. We're not going to base any of this on beliefs or thought processes that go in with, he was just so good last year. I think he can. No. We're going to be looking at what he is right now, what he is not right now, what he could be, and what it would take to get there. I have no interest in resting Sailor to bring him back. He's too hot for me to do that. I thought by now we'd have him cooled down and under control. And he was manageable in Ontario, but just so inconsistent. I thought we had a good spot for him. Meadows was my fault, pitched that out. But last week, I know he got an interference because it looked like he might have stepped on a wheel, but he was in a bad spot with him. Was he going to be good? Was he going to win? I don't know. This is a conversation that I'm going to expand into talking very closely with Brett and Stacy about. But at the end of the day, the decision to keep or sell Sailor will not be based on hopes and wishes and beliefs. It'll be based on facts and information that come from the person that drove him, and drives him, and trains him. And that is how we're going to get to the bottom of the Sailor issue. Stay Close isn't going anywhere. He's turning back into a nice horse. I think this horse is moving back in the right direction now. Quite a bit more stake on his plate this week, so to speak. He's got a lot more to work with this week. Better horses in there. James had picked Hang On Baby in there. If Stay Close is as good as I believe he could be, better hang on, baby, because he might give them all they want this week too. Kings County he's been Kings County. The horse is an amazing horse for us. Made a little break the other day. Pitched that. Don't care. Just interested to watch his next race. White Tiger has been racing great and continues to race great. Third, and looks like Money gobbled him up down the lane, but looks like Money was on a mission down the lane. Tiger trotted 28-3 a mile, 53-2 on a rather miserable night. He'll get his chance again on Monday again. This time with Resolute Bay and the other horses. We'll see how he does on Monday. Yes, raced good the other day. Bottom class. He's up now. The number is 8. Should be good again. He looked very good. It looks like he's hit his good stride anyway. I don't want to say his best stride, but hit a very, very good stride this week in Delaware. Patrick DePrana, 4th, closing in. Raced very, very good again in the Meadows on Friday. Per Lucky, so excited to see this guy back. What a sweetheart he is to drive, or was to drive the other day. Little rickety coming off the car. I think his left stifle bothers him a bit. The veterinarian was going to do some work on him, and I think the plan is to race him at Northfield Park next week. We could bring him to the Meadows, but that's the number is the 6,000 also. That's where Macho Martini's racing, and that's where Per Lucky races. So if Macho Martini races good but somehow fits a class good again, then we may take him over to the Meadows next week. There's a lot of Meadows, Northfield overlap right now, whether it be Dustin and Stonebridge Ducati not getting in, or where are we going to race Per Lucky? Some questions that we have to answer over the next 24 hours. Took a Dive Off Dipper, continues to race good. I know I'm going to people say, why wouldn't you stay and drive Took a Dive Off Dipper? It's simple. I get off the track around 9 o'clock. I'm going to drive home. I'm going to get home around 10 after 1. If I stay to drive Dipper, 2:45. I don't want to be driving at 2:30 in the morning. So Took a Dive Off Dipper, Justin Irvine, who's done well for us and worked for us for a short stint last year. Good kid, good set of hands. I think he'll get along just fine with Took a Dive Off Dipper. And then our boy, Sintra, is in tonight. No, I didn't drive him. I wanted to stay home with my family, my wife. Jody knows the horse better than any human on earth. And it's going to be a little bit cold tonight. So I'm going to sit home, watch the races, watch the football, sit with my wife and my kids, and just have an easy night. I think I should once in a while. So with that is all the videos you're getting this week. I talked about the 2-year-olds, the 3-year-olds, the racehorses, gave you some updates in the open, talked about the sale coming up, and again, if anybody wants to be involved with the sale, the preferred sale, I know I touted it last time and I was a little caught off guard. There was 10 entries, but the horses that were going to be in the 16th, the January 16th Meadowlands sale weren't qualified yet. I think you'll see a lot of them start to qualify this week and begin to go in Preferred's online portion of their sale, I believe on the 23rd, and I want to be ready for that sale. So with that, I will talk to you all very soon. I hope you had a great week. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. And I hope any of you participating in racing tonight have a great Saturday or Sunday night. I will talk to you all soon. Take care.